Hello and welcome my friend, and today I like to show you that how you can modify standard battery like in this Varta battery, standard battery to specific battery like in that one, and how I can modify this standard battery to this my car's special and more expensive, unique and special model. And now in that my case I have situation that this is my Toyota Prius hybrid cars, this small starting battery, and this is really original Toyota's product, made in Korea, Samsung country, and this is unique and special because this battery, these points, power points, these ledge areas, they are really thin. I don't know that why they are so small and thin when we compare to the standard battery, what is very thick. And let's go to look a little bit closer that we can see this difference. Okay, and here is really this issue, because in this now I install plus and plus LEDs in together. In this Toyota Prius special battery, this is very thin, this diameter, but in the standard battery this is really big. And now I have to somehow and some way make the standard battery similar than that one. And let's go to look at how I do that job. Before of that job, when I am planning to modify this standard battery to this my car's unique special battery, I have to check 3 things. And first thing is that when we are doing own car battery, we have to check 3 things. And first thing is that these both batteries must to be same voltage. And if my voltage is 12 volts and that one is 12 volts, and let's go to look first this voltage. And here is this voltage. That's mean 12 voltage, this amount in here. This must to be same in both batteries. And let's check that what is this another one's voltage. There is also 12 voltage. And that means that we have to have both batteries same voltage. And now I write down in this my desk in here, I can erase that later, that first one there must to be same voltage, 12 volts. Now we can see this is first point. This must to be in 12 volts. And then second thing is that we have to be these batteries, they must to be almost same size. And in my case these are really same size, as we can see. This is cool size. And then third thing is that these batteries, this energy amount inside, it must to be almost same, that how much there is this energy, this electric energy. And it is this ampere in here. And in my case, this my standard Toyota's battery, there is 45 ampere. And let's go to look closer at what that means. This is the second amount, 45 amperes. There can to be little bit like 10% tolerance up or down in especially Toyota cars, but like in German, this engineering like BMW cars, they are really sensitive that batteries must to be really unique, same amount of amperes. But in Toyota case, there can to be like 50 amperes or even 55 amperes battery what we can modify. And that's, we check that both batteries are 45 amperes, and I write down this thing in here. Now I install in here second point that they must be same ampere, and in my case they are 45 ampere is this electricity amount. This is voltage. Okay, good. And then this third point was that these batteries must be in same size. And then fourth thing is that when we have these battery LEDs, it is very good if they are in same size. Like in that my case, now there is situation that in this original battery plus is in here, but in that standard battery plus is in another side, in here. It should be in here, but now they are like wrong position, and that's I have to rotate these batteries in that way. And now this LED point, now this is plus in here and this is plus in here. And now they are a little bit different, but we have this long minus cable and plus cable, and I think that I can manage even that this point is in different position. Okay, good. And then I can start to modify these things, because these are soft metal, they are LED, and I can use my sander or file that I need to remove material in this my standard battery. Okay, let's go to look at how this happens. Okay, and now when I start to modify and do that standard battery to this my special battery, like in this Toyota Prius hybrid starting battery, I have to measure these my target measurement things, that what is thickness in here and in that one. And then I need to remove this metal material in here. And this is same idea if you have like Ford 150 specific battery and you like to modify some another car's battery into Ford. Same idea. And now I have to measure these LED points, and that's we need this good quality measurement tool, and here is the best one. This is Mitoyo from Japan, excellent digimatic caliper. I recommend that tool to you because this measures things really accurately, and this is really my one. I have purchased this from Amazon or ebay.com, and this is even made in Japan. And Japan quality is always best. Same quality like in made in USA. Or actually maybe even better. But USA the best. And now I start to measure these things, and I open this my measurement tool in that way, and there is this my digimatic caliper, and I open and I press on, and this digital is best, and first I check that there is 0 amount, and then I go to measure these points. And firstly we look at LED area, and there is important to measure this biggest area. And now, as you can see, that there is small sparking because I install these two things, that one in here, and be carefully because it is not nice. And now I measure this plus area's thickness in this the biggest point. I use this my desk for information thing to you, that plus area, this must be in this is a little bit oily, plus it is 14.5 is this my target. 14 millimeters is actually very good because it was in very thin in up. I think that plus it must be 14 point. My desk is a little bit oily, but this pencil works. And 14 millimeters, okay, and then I install 14 millimeters. 14 millimeters in here. Okay, good. And then we measure this plus area also. Sorry, this minus area. And minus area is in here. And now I take my tool and I measure in this down area. And it is like 12.7. And in up area is it is 11.17, and in this down area it was 12.7. Okay, maybe I can do that like in 12, because in down was 12.77 and up is in 11.1. And now I do that in 12 millimeters, this minus area. And minus is 12 millimeters. Okay, let's 12 millimeters. Okay, now I remember that. Sorry, my and minus. Now I remember and millimeters. And these are now my targets. What I need to do that in this plus is 14 millimeters and minus is 12 millimeters. Okay, good. And next when I start to do the job, I start in this plus area, and now I need socket. What size is 14 millimeters that I can measure. There is my 14 millimeter that I can measure that when this my new point is same size than this old one. And there is really socket, long socket, what fits in here. And now this goes in nicely in here, and when this part goes in this plus area, in this my new battery, the size is right. Okay, and there is really plus area. Remember to check that you are working right LED point. There is plus symbol, and in here is target. And now when this socket goes inside in here, the size is right. And then I need my tool. Okay, and we can start. We need now file that we can take this in circle area, in all areas, in that way that we remove this LED in here. And let's go to look closer when I work. And now we have plus area and target is 14 millimeter, and I take little by little that LED away, that way, all areas. And I work little by little, and then I check that in every minute that when this my socket goes inside, and I can little bit rotate that, and then I can use file what is like different sides. And now we can see that this LED is going nicely and very fast, because this my file is harder file, and this LED is really soft. Okay, and now I work that, and then I check with every minute that when this my socket goes inside. And then one warning thing. Remember that do not touch this one and that one in same time, because then there is those sparkings and this electric shock possibility. That be always your tool in that way that it don't take contact in here in same time. Remember that. You can use this like protective thing. Okay, and now I work in here a couple of minutes, and I can use also electric grinding machine that I can faster take this material away, but it is good to be carefully that we don't do that we don't do this pike and this pole too thin, because then it is like scrap and useless battery. Okay, and now I work couple of minutes that we can see this result. Okay, and then I have this excellent Makita battery angle driver, what is like now cutting disc, and using that disc I can also sand this faster. You can think that which one is better to you, and then we can also use this special even harder disc in this my angle driver, and then this material removing is really fast. But be carefully that you don't take too much this material. And now I work a little bit with that lead, that we can see that how soon I can do that in 14mm size. Okay, and now I have worked in here about 10 minutes, and I have cried and filed, and I have removed material both of these sides, and now there is this my 14mm socket, and this plus side must be in 14, and now this socket goes nicely in there, and look that this is like shape head, this LED. This is like little bit thinner in this up area and thicker in this bottom area. And now I install this my socket, and it goes nicely in there. And now I notice that this LED base must be so circle than possible. And I might need better this file tool that I can remove that LED, but I think that this is okay. And then we can look this minus area, and this should be in 12mm, and here I have 13mm socket. This goes nicely, and this is 12mm socket, and this goes also nice in there. And it is better to let this material a little bit more, that we can adjust these points when I install this thing in my car back. And now I go to install this my battery in my car, and I test that how this works, and soon I will comment to you my results. Okay, and here is really this my old battery, And now I have installed this new battery in my car, and let's go to test that how this new battery, what I made by standard battery to this unique Prius battery, that how it fits my battery box. Okay, and now we are in this Toyota Prius battery area, in trunk area, and there is really this my modified battery, and there is minus LED and plus LED, and I will install those even better because this is now testing thing, but everything looks fine, and then we can go to look dashboard also. And now we are really inside this Toyota Prius car, and then I press this power switch and we can see that everything works fine, and second test and dashboard is working okay, and that means that now everything is fine with my battery, and this my battery modification, it has been successfully good. And then I test drive this my car, and I tested how this my new battery works.